Ladies and gentlemen, of course, as we said so, and then of course we are back again with the same minutes which we are about to read and clarified. Of course, I was quick with the half meal. I know I am crazy. You are not a crazy Canadian. You set up the Canadian table, including the Canadian restaurant table, per set for sale at each customer risk. Either take out or eat in, you should have told or tell me before and after you have seen me asking for half price or half meal at a restaurant. Of course, I am looking at additionally the food. It is too big for me to finish alone, but I loved the cheap price. On the other menus sold out, and then I was just crazy, course and all, of course, because I am usually eating the order in the restaurant, because as the order is too big, I cannot finish them in the restaurant. And then that's when we said, yeah, we can carry out our order to our households, for that reason. Secondly, I am also not either was employees at that mall or inside those street restaurants, but I remained tasty for food on the road, restaurants, lodge, and then always etc. I realize that better I take out my orders, and what is controlling your cheap mail order, you promptly selling them for me to take home. They include, of course, the Asian barbecue buffet, sold also cheap as 13 chicken wings legs for just $2. And then for take out or eat in, how many food order do I left out there? If I paid half price and you refuse me to eat them, and you can not even tell me the history behind, you do commission a lot, and then you become a scam as a Canadian. Remember, I, Wayne Hassan, have a diploma also in accounting, computerized accounting and payroll administration management, and then that is totally for Canada, CPA, and then the CGA, CMA. Does this all accounted your downsizing your trademarks, because all Canadian CPAs and CGA, CMA to transform, of course, additional company backbones. We mean additional company employee salaries, the expenses tracking, etc. And then the hearing capacity is low or good. Do you need hearing aids to get yourself, of course, introduced at all the times, other than to share unwanted ideas, remarking our Canadian farmers and then forcing all the raw crops harvesters to stop harvesting raw crops, because and please farmers wait till they matured for harvest, and then harvested seed corporations, and then we have talk of irrigations, and then we know that is still tradition, the CPA, the CGA, and the CMA in Canada doing it best to ensure, of course, the expenses were well tracked, to keep all market price at its earlier versions, and then price settles as cheap as possible on daily. And then we don't, of course, talk of addition increasing, but we all know we are at work, ensuring all produce gone good for low as regular in the market, and then harvesting constructions and developments. We filmed here in Uganda as a lockdown by Dinka Noel, and then Dinka, and then the SPLA, South Sudan, who claim yes, such film to all is camped. And then they said this is only university who filmed us, that we are not yet educated with their leaderships, and is the only educated to date development. So those guys, they said, yeah, they have with that the reasons they cut Sudan, because they have this university writing which goes normal like this. They cycle in their ideologies, that they number one CPA accountabilities, and then they are making better than all the rest of the people with the home computers. So that's why that ideology is there. Another one of them comment to us and then say so, and then talk to us. Then we say, if that's the solutions, that's not the education forums. That is not it. There is a loophole down there with the guy, and then that's why they involved isolating that Equatoria areas. And then we Equatorians, our aim is also to ensure, yes, we combat that line as a Sudan if there's these capacities. Of course, what can we do on this matter if our developments grow legs and getting ripped off us by force? Lockdown of the ghost, of course, especially South Sudan, Silva Kiri, bankrupts to poverty, their bankrupt creations to terminate edition of the Arab Control in Unity project. Meanwhile, the Arab, British, Portuguese also doesn't need edition, especially South Sudan, including Equatoria, Sudanese, except Sudan as one country, and then instead toward the general Sudan border. Of course, must honor to the past leaders, their right of leadership, not their dictatorships. We meet our main African leaders who had worked with the Arabs, British, Portuguese during the colonial era in the African nations. Even today, we know we have many in Sudan leaderships, excellent leaderships in the past memo, and then the present situation. Present situations, many excellent leaders are there. Of course, presidential lament and speeches. Of course, a leadership is an example unless the leader is good at killing, like especially South Sudan. I cannot understand the Arabs, British, Portuguese control in African nations, the slave war, the colonizations, which indeed, of course, brought excellent memo, independent colonizations. Of course, the British controlled their leadership, elections, and campaign. The Arab controls their leaderships, elections, and campaign. The Portuguese controlled their leaderships, elections, and campaign. The Portuguese colonies, which is, of course, 1800 AD BC. Portuguese Empire, which is Asian-based, and the Indian Ocean. And of course, Uganda is known as a landlocked country due to Indian Ocean in Kenya. We talk of the independent year October, which is October, which is the 9th of each year, of course, 1962, from as a copyright. UK as began in 1894, and then 1961, that's the withdrawal of the Portugal state from African International, enabling the last African state peace forever. Of course, example today, Canadian farmers challenge 100% Canadian market. The price living, the workplace safety control such as the CPA, the CGA, the CMA, the excellent, of course, the political and the powerful Canadian forced tax front employment rights previously were my priced and the point sold, but the more they sold survey point for less than as 100 kilograms for $1 Canadian dollars, and then the sooner the farmers as the Canadian farmers are crumbed down to Canada economies. Do say it here because yes, she is in power control. And then of course you know that we also went, with that, because we know the use of CGA, the use of CPA, the use of CMA is to ensure the farmers also they get paid. And then the tracking of their salaries, tracking of their budgets, of course tracking the expenditures which are used, such as the seedling, agricultural equipments, and then of course the formation of greenhouse, the warehouse, and then also the manufacturing process, all done via these areas, these three capacities and these three companies. If there is regards of this one, the bank, the regards of this one, the accountabilities, and then that is accountability which is forcing you you cannot comply with them, you leave the job, you are home. That's why we say it here in the other area. We speakers, we are wakaring the defend from home till farming control again. You know, you are home seated. I'm also home speaking from home, but who is there in actions? So the guy in action is the one that you should talk to. If it comes to this one, to the price, you are there in action, and then you are there the one imposing the price. Well, the customers here from the home, they are saying here we are wakaring from home. You know, so till this one, till the speakers wakaring defend from home, till farming controls again, and then my post will reinstate the water the world. Do worse at your level and then controlled, the sooner will it pop up in your roles. Don't say we are lazy, just home. Doesn't mean that you own the world, but we also doesn't mean we own also the world. Doesn't mean that we are home seated. Doesn't mean that we own the world, and then doesn't mean that you own the world, because you are also at work. You're providing exactly what is available. And those available tasks, every individual that participated. If this is my task here, also I put myself, I needed the money. But what is my realization of my facilitation of this area which I'm managing and speaking from? Yeah, I have my less than 16,000 a year which I'm earning out of this. So if the farmers there also their case is different, the employment salaries, because they said we will only pay you 76,000, and then you feel you are very rich, and then you can go, yeah, because this is all the crops, they are raw, and then let me harvest all of them raw and then damage them off so that I can boost those prices going up. Now let me compete, and then let me bring more people working for me, not working for me, but I will make them, I will tag them here, and then I will benefit from them. That's not going to help, because every individual is different under different CPA, CGA, and then the CMI managements. Otherwise, nobody work for everyone for free. That is what is a deal for. Otherwise, that is your unworthier control. Disrespecting the order of your promotion. You can see yourself the power and the politics of this 2000, and then that is 2004, as well as this year 2021. If that is the orders goes, and then how is those order affecting? Of course, residing in us all worldwide. If talking of this marketing enforcements, demanding our choice for the lowest price daily, and then doing what in the greenhouse or farms or industrial or warehouse. Of course, that is all the order of CPA, CGA, CMIA. Otherwise, we cannot even do much. That's why. If you expect you can do much, you cannot do much, unless you will force yourself going back to schools. If you expect, you cannot longer do. So shall Canada want edition Canada of 2000s, as we said, the 2000 is the 2021. So shall they want a 2021, which is the year 2000, as a copyright? And then of course, edition 2000 in year 2022 for still edition for still sell and price, or shall be moving out of Canada, because new market price, which is the price a copyright, buy one get one for free, or half price in Canadian standard of living. Today that is 2021 to 2099 if I had to go. And then of course those routine may yield and may schedule this market, of course, as worst farm to be, and to be harvested all crops and then cast crops, and then must wait and be prepared ready for harvest. No rust in any means. Avoid crop disruptions, of course, and harvest to create poverty, and then whole market accountable of higher pricing. If you harvest early, that means you destroy the crops, and then you're putting the market at higher price. Why am I involved? I'm also a accountant, as I said. That's why it's my accountabilities. That's why I'm involved. If I see there is a mess there, I have to go and fix it. He's already a culprit down there. The guy is a culprit. Don't know what is right down there. So that is my accountability. That is your accountability. That is every individual accountabilities when it comes to that areas and then to that regards. Of course, here we talk of this one, the deceived teenager pregnancy. That is why we let you, of course, manage without us being the boss, but we isolate our managers. We say so. And then of cross holdings may cause this one, a wedding ceremony. Who is he deceiving? Vesting. You sent this one white. You send white. You claimed not the government paying or insuring for damage in the household, except your backlogged in church doing. So what is holding you back? What are your weakness? What are your strengths? Of course, do you have a best till to the back holding you from doing the right jobs? But we must agree with you for the worst job. That's what you said. If we can agree with you for the worst jobs, and then everything is there, and then how will we agree with you for the worst jobs? Let's not together fix this job error according to you, and then Nyambira. So that is the situation, and then that is totally and total confidentialities, which is the forum, keeping your mouth shut, other than that the political system movements for you. All the poor can't be elected, and then you fired some rich children acting on your behalf even. That is what we went there, and we at least emphasize, and then we try to give feedbacks in all the scenarios, which we just oversee from this line to the other line, and then from the other line to the other end. So to at least to compare all we observed, if we watch whatever is the order was this one was broadcast by this one by CTTV, and then CTTV want this one want suggestion from all the viewers, and then I'm one of the viewers, you're one of the viewers. If the farmers they act themselves, this is the farmer, so trying to harvest this one, rice. The rice is still green, is not yet yellow. The rice did not turn yellow. If they did not turn yellow, you cannot of course go and harvest. If you harvest like that, you want to feed the pig, you want to feed the cow, you want to feed the goats, you want to feed the lambs, and then to the animals, the farm animals. And then that's why we don't know if they were grown for them to feed those animals, and then we really don't know. That is your own do. But don't associate and don't go and add the price in the market. So if that is your situation, because you use that farm to report the farm the farm price. So you want farm price up. If we look at the standard, why are we rushing condition all the Canadians to go out of Canada? If going out of Canada, yes, we come from many countries. So of course, every one of us who come from another country, for us we have our own times. The moment we get the money, which can get us back, that is the mission accomplished, and then all of us will disappear, one on one. So if there is no money, of course, no disappearance. That's why we attack here. We are useless, and then no money to go, no money even for bus tickets. How do you expect a guy would go in a container? And then without knowing themselves, and then realizing they wake up in Africa. That is impossibilities. It's none of my business. That's your business. Do it the way you are doing, and then this copyright which we just scratch and which we see from wherever beyond, and then it comes because they connected themselves. That is our view to overview. Of course, me, White Hassan.